Welcome back to Ninon Live, and we're laughing because I have to tell you something really, really funny. I'm Ninon, your host, and I have Guy Dawson with me. And Guy Dawson just turned around to me. He said, Ninon, who's been the greatest guest you've had on since you've had this show? So I quickly thought, and I turned it around real fast, and I said, you guys. What else
a true professional.
I wouldn't dare mention another name. No, Guy, you're pretty awesome.
I was telling Ninon I've learned some things about broadcasting in the last few years.
Yeah, you have learned.
But I have a lot to learn.
So you got any questions you want to ask me that maybe I could help you with? I mean, that's what I do. I teach, actually. I teach a lot of people out there to have their own show. So if you want your own show on WCOBM, I can teach you and help you how to put that show together. It's quite easy. I'm not going to say it's simple because it's not. There's a certain way you have to be. And as you very well know, Guy, there's a certain way you have to come in and go out and certain things you do. What would you like to learn?
How did you develop the etiquette? Because I watch the way you are sitting at the mic and the way that you're moving your hands, everything. There is a pattern that you are in as you're doing
Well,
this.
the pattern is that you've got to stay with the energy. Mm-hmm. And you've also got to be a person. You don't have to sit there petrified and worried and sort of, am I doing the right thing now? No, just be very natural. And if you are who you are, and this is why I don't interview people, is because I get the best out of you because it's so natural. You have no idea what I'm going to ask you, which is great, and I have no idea what I'm going to ask him either. That's just a joke. That is definitely a joke.
When you come on my show, that could very well be true.
And we all develop our own style. It's like, what was his name? Larry King. Larry King had a style. His style was, he was always like this. He always had his little braces on. He was always like this.
Yeah,
and then he would go like this. And when
he did have that thing with the
he
fingers.
did like that. Now what was that? And he always, and like Barbara Waters, we all have our own little style we bring on. And I think it's something we maintain and something we keep. And also when we look at ourselves, we look at our own show, which I don't do that much. But when we realize the things we should do and shouldn't do, and we realize, whoops, that's something we shouldn't do.
All right, but look at the recovery. Look at the recovery.
Yeah, real fast. Like it never happened.
That's right.
But I think the thing I can answer you on that is be as natural as possible. Be you. Mm-hmm. And if you want to sit like this, that is you. And you actually have to maintain and keep, and that is what you call branding. When you keep, it's how you dress. I always dress, I've always maybe got a jacket on. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like Larry King, back to Larry King again. He always had the braces on. Mm-hmm. That was his branding. And it's like you maybe will never wear a jacket and always wear a shirt. That will be your branding. Mm-hmm. I've got another friend of mine, which I actually don't approve of, but this is his branding. He has a shirt, and then he always has this little jacket thing on top. Mm-hmm. Like one of these little waistcoat things on top. Mm-hmm. But that's his branding. That's what he likes. And when you see him, you know that's what he's going to look like. So I think it's just maintaining your branding, how you are, how you smile, how you act, and how you do it. And don't be afraid of it. And don't be afraid of bringing something else of yours, something personal of yours, because people love that personal touch. They truly love that sort of that thing about you. And they say, oh, yeah, we know that the guy's coming on, and he's this and this, and this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And they like it, and that's how you create who you are. Did I answer that okay?
Oh, what an amazing answer.
Well, that's how it is.
But I agree with you. I think that there is a lot of value in what Ninon is talking about and being able to help people who potentially would be internet stars. I mean, yes. Like I said, I'm just some guy who was a publicist who went into radio, and here I am sitting next to a very accomplished executive producer.
Thank you,
Anything is possible.
Everything is possible.
I was a stagehand.
Do you know something? I'm going to tell you something, that there is, everybody out there has we are all born with something, a dream within us, and we all have it, and never be afraid of what it is. And you don't always have to copy somebody else's dream. It is like I had a couple of girlfriends, and they always wanted to name themselves after another star, the same name. Mm-hmm. And I always thought, why would you want to be secondary? Why would you not use your own name, or why would you take on somebody else's name? That means you're secondary to them, because they've already done it. They've always been who they are, and then you come in to be that person. You're never going to be that same person. So don't ever be afraid of who you are and what you're, because everybody, every one of you out there have something. Believe me, you do. You all have a look. You might not think you do, but you do. And everybody does.
And it's about striking on it.
Yes.
It's about really striking and establishing that uniqueness, that thing, like you said, that everyone
has something
enjoys about you. And there will be someone, I mean, who will...
Well, there's a lot of people out there who probably don't like me at all.
Who will not like you, but they'll watch too. They'll watch
all right,
just
well,
to
then I'm going to tell you something else. If you don't like criticism, then do not go into media.
All right.
Do not go into radio,
very
media.
thick-skinned.
Do not put yourself out there on television or anything else. Believe me, there's a few people out there that want to get you, and I know who they are, and I know some I don't know.
I got a telephone call early on in the radio, and it was, oh boy, I've had some interesting.
I haven't had that yet, but I've had, I've had some people turn around and say, well, why didn't you talk loud enough? And I have a loud voice. Hello, it's like me not talk loud enough. And they said, well, the person you were interviewing was so much more experienced on the microphone. And I'm like, look at them, thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, people are very quick to point out your weaknesses.
Yes, and then you look at them and you think, shall I get back at them? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I have, sitting here, I can truthfully say I've never got back at anybody. I do not get back at people. I just don't. I just look at them, and if I don't get on with somebody, I always turn around and say, it's just that we don't kind of get on. But at the same time, that doesn't make that person bad. It doesn't make me bad. We just don't get on. They're just as beautiful. I'm just as beautiful. And just you move on and I'll move on, and we'll find the people that we're comfortable with and we're happy with, because what is life? And funny, you were just telling me something, Guy, and this is something very personal, and I just thought it was very lovely. His dad died at a very young age in the 50s, and he was just telling me that his father always wanted to be in the PR business, and you now have his dream.
I do, yeah, and it was an unconscious thing. Like I was telling you, Ninon, is I was probably 4 or 5 years into being a PR person before I had given a speech in Toastmasters, and it was just something. My mother was there, actually, that day when I was giving this speech, and I started sharing about how my father had always wanted to be a PR guy, and that was when it clicked.
It suddenly clicked in that he could be the PR guy and take over the legacy of your father, who he never really did that. But the reason he didn't do it, because he had a wife and he had children, you as one of the sons, and he had his, and unfortunately a lot of people out there have all these responsibilities, but do not be afraid of taking that little step. You can do two things at one time, and if there's something out there that you'd really like to do, just do it. I mean, go for it. Even if you fail, you have tried it.
Yeah, and the thing is that you might not fail.
No, there's no reason why you should
And that
fail.
was a big thing with me when people would come to me with radio, as I started to have time and mentor people in radio, and they would come to me and ask me whether or not they should have a show, and I would say, what do you have to lose? You never know. I didn't think I could ever be a radio broadcaster. I'd listen to the radio forever. I never thought I could be. I just did it. And I know I was interviewing you for a piece that we're working on together, and one of the themes that you consistently kept talking about is that you just did it. You were self-taught.
Yes, I just did it. Yes,
you
self-taught. I never went to school. No, there are no limits. You don't have to put limits on yourself. There are no limits. The only fences and walls you put up are the ones you put up yourself. So I always say to people, take that wall down and just go for it. We're all the same, whether you have money or whether you don't have money, or what religion you're in or what color. It doesn't make any difference. We're all human beings. We're all the same. I wish the whole world would understand how I think. Then we would have no wars,
but you
no
have
fighting.
You have to do it. You have to
do it.
Somehow get yourself to the point where you can say, you know what, this is what I'm passionate and I want to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yes, and that's what you did.
And you have to be determined.
But that's what you did. Did you actually learn this in school?
No, I was a political science major in college. I never did broadcasting. I'm School of Hard Knocks, like you talked about.
From Hard Knocks. I'm from Hard Knocks. I didn't have any. Nothing.
The greatest school on earth, Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks is the greatest school on earth. This is Ninon Live. I am Ninon. We have Guy with us, Guy Dawson from PR Classic.
Something, yeah. He's the PR guy.
He's the PR guy. We'll be back.